it is Brandy from Brandy's Book World, and I am back with another haul from bookoutlet.com. I bought all these books myself. Book Outlet is not sponsoring this video. I just wanted to show you what I found. Alright, the first two books I got were hardcover editions of Yellow Brick War and The Wicked Will Rise Again. So this is number 2 and this is number 3 of the Dorothy Must Die series. I have the Dorothy Must Die book number 1, and I met Danielle Page at the Texas Book Festival back in November. She is super nice. Like, she signed my book. It's really cute. Her signatures are awesome. Her personality is amazing. So everything you see on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and all that, she is even better in person. She gave out Stealing Snow bookmarks that I got at the time, because I got Stealing Snow too. Anyway, I'm excited to have 2 and 3. I kind of wanted to keep it all in the paperback edition, because once I buy one, I kind of want them all. But I wasn't sure I was going to love this book. But now that, I mean, it's amazing. And so I went ahead and got the Book Outlet priced. So this may just be one of those series that I have in different mediums, because I am not getting rid of my personalized book. Or maybe I'll trade these out for paperbacks later on down the line. And Queen of Hearts must move up here for today. Alright, I also got, this was like $2.99, The Samurai Turned Pretty, which is the Jenny Han trilogy. I got the other books in another book outlet, my next book outlet order, so I'll haul those later. But this is just a really cute summer read. I'm excited to read it. I've read Jenny Han. I have not all of Jenny Han's books, but many of them. And so I'm excited to read this summer. I also got We Were Liars. This was a hardback edition, brand new, great price. And then the E. Lockhart was at the Texas Teen Book Festival. I didn't get to meet her. I don't know if I had already ordered this book, or I just didn't know enough about the book and then learned about it when I was at the conference. But I'm excited to read this. So I get to read this. It says, "We are Sinclairs. No one is needy. No one is wrong. We live, at least in the summertime, on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts. Perhaps that's all you need to know, except that some of us are liars." So I hear that we kind of go through the book trying to figure out who the liar is. I don't know a lot about this book. That's actually how I kind of prefer to go into many of my YA reads, because I feel like because of the genre, you can kind of get too much information in the summary already. So yeah, and it's a really, it's a pretty short book. It's just over 200 pages, so this might be another good summer read. Another summer read I got was The Summer Days and Summer Nights. I was gonna wait for paperback in this because I have the 12 Days of Christmas in paperback, but I loved it. I loved everything about it, and I cannot wait to get into this. It's 12 different short stories, kind of love stories. The last book had a lot of authors that I hadn't read yet, a lot of famous YA writers that I hadn't read yet, so I actually absolutely loved it, and so I'm excited to get into this book this summer. Some of the more famous authors on here are Leigh Bardugo, Cassandra Clare, Nina LaFour, Stephanie Perkins, Veronica Roth, so I mean, it's going to be amazing. I got my own edition paperback of The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. This is a World War II piece where there's a boy in a concentration camp and a boy outside, and they kind of create this friendship. I just finished The Zookeeper's Wife in March, so I thought I kind of bought this at the same time. World War II reads are really difficult, especially because I dive into the characters' lives and become that character when I'm reading. But I just feel like they're really important to kind of remind us of our history and to kind of keep aware and be active in our society to make sure that, human rights are fought for when we may not know that they're being stricken. I also also got a really popular middle grade book called Belly Up. This is by Stuart Gibbs, and I've just seen it. It was on, I think, the Blue Bonnet list in Texas, and so I'm just really excited to read this. Again, I don't know a lot about it, but I know that all the Blue Bonnet books that Texas librarians vote on and put out are amazing, so I know that I'm going to love it. Alright, I also got a couple of different leadership books. I got The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. Number 1 is Position, 2 Permission, 3 Production, 4 People Development, and 5 Pinnacle. So I'm excited to read this again. I'm huge into leadership books and development. I need all the help I can get. I also got John Maxwell's Becoming a Person of Influence. In my position at work, I've kind of been able to really notice how much of an influence I have on other people. People are always asking me why I'm wearing something or why my hair is even up, which is kind of crazy. And so I noticed that as I continue throughout my career and kind of making advancements, that I need to kind of keep up and make sure that I'm being a good influence. I know so many times I want to kind of get down on their level and really become one with the employees and the rest of the faculty, but I'm really excited to read this and kind of get into how to be a better influence on staying positive and just being there for students and building literacy in our school. I also got Deepak Chopra's The 13th Disciple. I love Deepak Chopra. I love his books. I've loved his books for 15 years now. When a friend introduced me to some of his other writing and some of his health books, and so I'm excited to get into this. This is more of his religious piece, with it being, of course, the 13th Disciple. So I'm always bridging my faith and leadership and things like that. So I'm excited to dive into this later. So I also got John Maxwell's The 17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork. I am very introverted and kind of a self-starter, so teamwork to me doesn't always come easy. I'm used to just give it to me and I'll do it and I'll get it done for us to make sure, but that doesn't always go very well for me, so I've gotten in some sticky situations. So I'm really excited to be on a team. I'm on many different teams at work and at church and things of that sort, so I'm excited to read more about this and kind of learn how to develop myself as a team member. I also got this huge book called Here I Am by Jonathan Safran Foer, and I'm really excited because I've heard a lot about it. It says, in the book of Genesis, when God calls out Abraham before ordering him to sacrifice his son Isaac, Abraham responds, "Here I am." Later, when Isaac calls out, "My father," before asking him why there's no animal to slaughter, Abraham responds, "Here I am." How do we fulfill our conflicting duties as father, husband, and son, wife and mother, child and adult, Jew and American? How can we claim our own identities when our lives are linked so closely to others? So I'm excited to get through this. It is definitely something that has been on my list. I've been watching it on the bestseller list in previous years and just throughout the media, so I am excited to get this. So I have so many. Alright, second stack, I got Nina LaFour's Everything Leads to You. I saw her at the Texas Teen Book Festival up in Dallas, but I did not get to meet her or sign with her, but I found this book on Book Outlet and got it. I've heard really great things, and so again, I don't know a huge piece of the plot, but I've heard great things about it. It's more about, I think they discover like a letter and they start kind of tracing the letter through Hollywood, something like that. So kind of a YA mystery, and I've heard that the plot, it's more plot and going through finding out, kind of finding themselves through finding the letter and things of that sort. I also got Jack Cantos's Dead End in Norvelt and From Norvelt to Where, which is his series that won the Newbery Award and the Scott Odell Award. So Newbery Awards, always a must. They're always amazing. The best book of the year in young I should say, not teen or young adult, but kind of middle grade. And so I adore the Newbery Award winners, and I got the sequel to it. So I'm super excited about this. This is about a boy who gets grounded, and then he kind of gets into, it's during summer vacation, so I'm excited hopefully to read these over the summer too. As you can see, my summer reading is going to be out of control, but I am taking off work. I am working, I think, 2 weeks out of the whole summer. So I have half of June and all of July off to work. To read, not to work. I also got Spy School because Stuart Gibbs, again, was at the North Texas Teen Book Festival, just like Stuart Gibbs and all these other authors. Like, this must have been my purchase, like, right after I was done with the festival. Again, this is a sequel. It's also the author of Belly Up. Spy School is a series. I think there's 4 or 5 books in the series, so I'm excited to get through that. The character is 12 years old, and so it's just kind of this little mystery. So I'm excited to go through it. Again, I love to read books like that because then I can bring them to my students and other kids that I know. I also got Lola and the Boy by Stephanie Perkins. Lola and the Boy Next Door. I think this takes place in San Francisco. It is kind of in a series, but I don't think it's the same characters as Anna and the French Kiss. But I'm really excited to get through this. So I read Stephanie Perkins in the Christmas Love Story Anthology for YA. Loved it, and so I got her books because they're really easy reads, but I like the characters. They're really cute and the plot is usually fun. Also got Sarah J. Maas's Queen of Shadows. I have some of her books. I know. When I wasn't reading YA, I was missing out on all of her stuff. So as I'm emerging back into the YA lifestyle, this is an author who I'm going to have to kind of slowly build up my collection. I have Court of Thorns and Roses in paperback, and then I was going to get, start building my collection for the Throne of Glass, and I'm just kind of going about it slowly. I don't know when I'm going to read this series. I've promised myself to read Harry Potter before I get into Sarah J. Maas, but I don't know. Every time I go on Instagram, there is something from all of her series, and so I just don't know. There's so many books to get to, guys, so it really just depends. The day that I finish a book kind of guides what I'm doing next. And I have found that I'm actually really not good at reading groups, like on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. I did not even touch those books. So I'm going to have to kind of work through on my own and kind of see where I am. But holy cow, these books are long. This is 640 pages. I'm not sure. This would take me a month. Anyway, I've heard amazing things, so one day, right? I'm also really glad I got to see the red pencil. I got this in the hardback edition. This is by Andrea Davis Pinkney, and it's illustrated by Shane Evans, who won a Coretta Scott King Award. And if you don't know Mr. Shu Reads is on Twitter, and you should follow him. He is an amazing librarian, and now he works for Scholastic as kind of it's not an advocate, it's like, anyway, he goes out and talks about books. It's amazing. He's great. I heard him, they brought him to my school district one time, and I got to go see him. He's amazing. Anyway, he recommended the red pencil, said it was one of his best books of the month or week or year, and so I just knew it was going to be great. This is written all in lyrical, and it's about a little girl in Sudan who gets a gift of a red pencil, and so it kind of talks about how that inspires her throughout her life. So I'm super excited to read this, and so glad that I found it on Book Outlet. The next book I found for a great price was The Midnight Star. Marie Lu is another author that I missed in my exit of YA and kind of graduate school life, I guess, and teaching when I was really just reading like Newbery and middle grade novels. So I'm really excited to get into the Young Elite series, and so I've just, again, been picking them up as I see them on Book Outlet for cheap. So yeah, I'm excited to have this. And Marie Lou was at the Texas Teen Book Festival in Dallas. Her line never got to where I could enter it. The Texas Book Festival has their own teen festival, and so they are headlining with Maya Blalik. So I am super excited. I cannot wait. So I'm gonna hopefully get her to sign this then. And then the last book that I got was The Happiness Project, where I spent a year trying to sing in the morning, clean my closets, fight right, read Aristotle, and generally have more fun. So this is by Gretchen Rubin. And I just always like these kind of books. They always kind of pep me up. And, you know, when you have a hard day or a hard week or a hard month, they are kind of fun and put things into perspective for you, because we all have those moments, right? Anyway. Alright guys, that is all for me today from Book Outlet. I'm going to keep recording today because this is going to be my recording day, so you'll see this posted when I get it edited. And yeah, so I am still a book addict. My shelves are filling quickly. Comment below if you have a read that you loved that I should put at the top of my TBR, or one that maybe I shouldn't waste my time with. Would love to know what you're reading. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more book hauls, and hopefully be talking more about books that I'm actually reading. And I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Bye. Peace! This is not going to go well, just so you know. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, what do you call it? When there's multiple stories in a book. Oh, I can never remember that word. Anthology. That was really weird.